Now when it happened, I was right here, sitting almost right here, actually looking backwards as Pepe was bringing me another sail to plug in behind me, and all of a sudden I saw this just break. I just saw it break, and the drum flew up in the air and the sail flew up with it, and I looked up and instinctively I knew the mast was going to fall down, but it kind of hovered there for a few seconds, and then it slowly fell backwards into the water. Within a couple of minutes the mast broke in two where it was hinged over the boat, and then Pepe did a great job of getting the grinder and cutting it away before the mast made a hole inside the boat in the big waves we had. It's extremely disappointing. You know, we were leading the race by 60 miles. We've broken the record to Gibraltar. We broke the record to the doldrums. We really felt that we were in control of the race. Yes, we've made a couple of minor mistakes, but really we were performing brilliantly. And I'm so disappointed for our team, for Pepe, you know, for all of us. It's heart-wrenching when these things happen.
Bueno, la verdad que teníamos muy buen rollo a bordo, Alex y yo. Habíamos empezado muy bien la regata, nos habíamos ido colocando en todas las situaciones prácticas que había habido muy bien, habíamos ganado, habíamos perdido millas, pero en general el feeling era muy bueno, las discusiones a bordo para tomar las decisiones eran muy buenas, eran muy positivas. Siempre que hacíamos algún movimiento que nos separábamos de la flota acabábamos ganando millas. Eso te da mucha moral y mucha confianza en ti mismo para lo que viene por delante, y sobre todo en unas condiciones que el barco pensábamos que aún no eran las idóneas para él, pues se estaba defendiendo y nosotros estábamos haciendo una buena regata y haciendo una buena táctica.
So the leaders this morning approaching the latitude of Rio, Xemeni Pujola and Neutrogena side by side, Hugo Boss heading for Salvador de Bahia, and Gaia Centros Auditivos keeping a steady pace about 140 miles behind. Xemeni Pujola leading, just moved to the east of Neutrogena overnight, gaining a little bit of leverage and slightly quicker this morning. Gaius, as I say, nice and steady, same distance, round about 140 miles behind, and same kind of speeds. Interesting to note, Renault Captur going east now. They have done since yesterday night or yesterday evening, looking to do something different, I think, as much because they don't want to just follow down the South Atlantic. And Spirit of Hungary there, very much in the doldrums, very slow this morning. We can see that southeasterly trade just to the north of the equator. So as I say, Hugo Boss making 6.2 knots towards Salvador de Bahia. And the news this morning, if you watch these two boats, then Neutrogena disappear, going into ghost mode. They disappear from the ranking for 24 hours. So our ranking this morning, Friday the 16th of January, 9 o'clock this morning. Xemeni Pujola, Bernard Stam and Jean Le Cam on top, making 16.6 knots. Now the second place boat is Gaius Centros Auditivos, that's Anarcabea and Gerard Moran. Of course, Neutrogena disappeared off the 9 o'clock rankings. They disappear for 24 hours because they've gone into ghost mode. That means they are not tracked publicly and don't appear on the rankings for 24 hours, and will reappear on the same rankings tomorrow. So Gaius Centros Auditivos up to second. They are a little bit further to the east of Xemeni Pujola. Renault Captur doing something different. Look at their figures though, 8.8 knots of boat speed, but the key figure for them, 7.3 knots of VMG. So that's good. They are trying something different. It may be a little bit of a high risk option, but let's watch and see. We Are Water making 15.4 knots. One Planet One Ocean in fifth, 13.7 knots. 33 miles ahead of One Planet One Ocean are We Are Water. And Spirit of Hungary in the doldrums, unfortunately, making low numbers only. Made 141 miles in 24 hours, so pretty slow in general. So remember, Wednesday night and into yesterday was devastating for Hugo Boss. They're under jury rig and engine now, making towards Salvador de Bahia, still in easterly breezes, 210 miles to go. And 21:02 hours on Wednesday night. They were mast came down by 22:30. They were heading under engine to Salvador de Bahia with the race over. It'd been all going perfectly up till then. So let's remember what happened.
Our situation at the moment is very simple. It's not very fast. We have very light winds at the moment, as is normal for our position. Last night we were sailing downwind with still stable winds until quite far south, and then all of a sudden the wind stopped completely, and then we had very, very strong rain, which was absolutely fantastic because the boat has been filthy with dust from the Sahara, and so we were able to wash the boat and ourselves very, very thoroughly. But since then, it has been slow progress heading south. It's difficult to have a strategy when you are so far behind the other boats. It's been very much just focusing on ourselves. We still had a lot of learning because we did not sail so much together before the start, and so Nando and I have been progressing very well as a team. We're learning a lot about each other and about the boat. 2 weeks in now, we're very comfortable with all of the maneuvers that we need to do and the sails to put up. So when we get the wind again, we're going to be in a great position to try and come back on the other boats ahead. Going to be sailing as if we have a chance all the way to the finish line in Barcelona again. We look forward very much to seeing one ocean, one planet, and hopefully we are water again. In the Southern Ocean, anything can happen, and we'll try to come back day by day. It's a little tricky. It's been very much just one foot in front of the next, and so we've been focusing just on our entry into the doldrums and making it south through the zone that we're in now, and we really haven't had the opportunity to look too far ahead and into a broader strategy for the South Atlantic, although it looks like very quickly it's reaching conditions rather than upwinds, so we look forward to be sailing fast again soon. What was your reaction and Nando's reaction when you heard about the Hugo Boss have dismasted? Oh, it's just awful because as competitors we understand that even for the big teams, just like the small ones like us, so much of your heart goes into the preparation. You know, having a boat at the south end of a race like this represents just so much effort. And especially for them to have had a perfect race up until then and to be taken down by what seems like a technical failure is just heartbreaking. I wish them all the very best.
Conrad Coleman, we spoke to him and he said that really they just hit the doldrums experience last night. They've been going nicely in the northeasterly trades. They just faded and then suddenly they were into this big heavy shower of rain, which gave them a chance to clean the boat up, which gave them a chance to wash themselves, and since then it's been the full doldrums experience, very slow for them. However, the southeasterly trades are just encroaching north of the equator, so they have about probably 110 miles, something like that, to get down to the southeasterly trades, and after that then the race should be fairly straightforward. Conrad said that the relationship is developing all the time with Nandor. They seem to have a nice measure of respect between each other, and I think they have the staying power. As long as the boat holds together, they have the staying power to complete this race. One Planet, One Ocean Pharmaton going quite well, 13.7 knots on the mid-morning ranking. Just a little bit slower than We Are Water. We Are Water making 15.4 knots, and they're sailing nice, steady races generally. Still fairly close together. They feel like they're in company and enjoying the race. And they both set off from Barcelona saying they were going to sail their own races and concentrate on finishing, and that seems to be the philosophy just now.
Nitrogenating ghost mode. Do you know that?
Yeah, because it's from this morning and I just wake up.
What do you think Guillermo is going to do?
I don't know. I imagine that maybe they want to just put something special, some sail or something. I don't know, because wind is decreasing in where they are. I imagine that they are close with the other boat and they want to, that the other boat doesn't know the speed. for 24 hours, something like this. There's nothing, there's not a lot to do now. There's not a lot of strategy to do. I don't know. I really don't know.
Are you thinking in going in ghost mode next days?
We are not thinking about that for the moment.
So the top few boats in the Barcelona World Race, then Chamonix Pujola leading, going quite well, 16.6 knots. They're starting to slow down, or will over the course of the day as they get down towards the western fringe on the northwestern corner of the St. Helena High. That may see some compression from Gaia Centros Auditivos, may be able to catch up a little bit. And Neutrogena, as we said, going into ghost mode. Now that means to say they disappear for 24 hours. The crews can go into ghost mode at any time, as long as they ask 12 hours in advance. And the race course is divided into 5 parts. In each part, the boat can disappear for 24 hours. So obviously this stage is in equator to the Cape of Good Hope. And I say 5 stages. Otherwise, Rhino Captur is making this break to the east. It's a high-risk strategy, but really would they just want to carry on following directly down the same line as Chamonix Pujola, Gaius and Neutrogena? So they're going east. They're making 8.8 knots of boat speed, 7.3 knots of VMG. You've got to compare that with 16.6 knots for Chamonix Pujola. Boat speed 9.2 knots of VMG, so really pretty comparatively good figures for Jorg Riechers and Sebastian Odegan. Maybe a chance to catch up a little bit. It's a longer term strategy as they try to get through the high pressure. There's just a narrow corridor of breeze that they may be able to work through, but it's going to be interesting to watch. Hugo Boss, as we said, making decent progress, about 6.2, 6.3 knots towards Salvador de Bahia. They're under jury rig. They have a jury rig, a sail set between the dagger boards only. We reckon that's adding them an extra knot, probably. 210 miles to go. They have 2 of their technical team are on their way to Salvador. They may indeed be there by now. They left very quickly after the accident happened. And so good luck to Hugo Boss and to Alex Thompson, Pepe Ribas.
Oui, bonjour messieurs et mesdames, nous sommes en direct de Chamonix Pujola, dans l'Atlantique Sud, au large du Brésil. Nous marchons dans les alizés à une vitesse de 15-16 nœuds. Et Bernard Stamm a quelques confidences à vous faire, messieurs et mesdames. À vous, monsieur Bernard.
Bonjour.
Tiens là, la caméra parce que...
Alors bonjour. Alors là on est dans les alizés, il fait très très beau dehors, mais on reste couvert sous notre casquette parce que on est en train de marcher au banc de travers, donc avec les vagues un petit peu de face, et 30 secondes après avoir mis le nez dehors, on est trempé de la tête aux pieds. Voilà. Donc
il y a eu un problème de café ce matin, monsieur Bernard. Il y a votre collègue qui a arrosé le bateau avec son café. Que s'est-il passé vraiment?
alors j'étais tranquillement à la table à cartes quand soudain j'entendis un cri de détresse. Le café de Jean s'était renversé, mais il n'a pas fait que de se renverser. Il s'est explosé contre la cloison, donc il en a mis partout, voilà, partout. Donc
c'est réparé maintenant, un petit coup d'éponge, enfin un gros coup d'éponge parce qu'on l'a tout rincé à l'eau douce. Et là on est en train de, au dernier classement, on revenait toujours sur Neutrogena. Et donc voilà, bah écoutez mes chers auditeurs, en direct de Chamonix Pujola, à bientôt.
voilà, à bientôt, mais avant de se quitter, une petite image de navigation, parce que c'est pas tout de rigoler, mais...
General situation for the fleet today. Spirit of Hungary, it's still in the doldrums. It did not pass equator. It's by 2 north
and he has a few difficulties with speed because the door ramps are very active with showers, and so very, very slow speed for him for the moment. We can expect he will pass tonight. For We Are Water on One Planet One Ocean, they are still in good trade wind from southeast, so good progression close to the Brazil coast. Renault Capture wind more east, 28 knots wind. Is still keeping its position to the east, so maybe to have an option for the future for St. Helene, we will see later. Hugo Boss, without his mat, is still going to Salvador de Bahia. It could be in Salvador de Bahia in 35 hours. For Gaes, just in the line of the 2 leaders now, so good speed too. And the 2 leaders, we have Cheminée Poujoula on Neutrogena, very, very close, around 5 miles distance, so they are very, very close together. But what we can say today, Neutrogena is in a mode, ghost mode. He can do that. It's why he will be out of the ranking and out of the map during 24 hours. So it could be a good option or opportunity to him to have a distance separate from Cheminée Poujoula, because it could be in the next 24 hours a really delicate position to pass St. Helene. We have 2 center high pressure, so the difficulty is to go there. And I understand why maybe Neutrogena want to keep the map and to keep out of the ranking to do the surprise.